by the secret U.S. authorities as future U.S. presidents. And so they are trained and briefed in an extensive program to carry out that office on behalf of the secret government.
So they're trained ahead of time, so to speak. And I mean, I must, in that regard, if they indeed have access to a time machine, pretty much, then I mean we are screwed. If you think about it from a the power that would imply, you know?
There's good evidence that you can characterize all of these presidents, Clinton, the two Bushes, and Obama, as lifetime longitudinal intelligence assets.
Yeah, that's right.
And there is evidence that the time travel capability, and this evidence comes from the statements of Mr. Bashago, who was a subject in these experiments, that the time travel has been used for purposes of political surveillance and political planning.
Among other things, I'd reckon this is just one level of how to control events here on Earth, and then you expand that further even into the solar system, because again, it feels to me then that this would be pretty much the ultimate secret that they would try to want to keep the lid on, so to speak, because if it is indeed true that there is an advanced civilization on Mars, which is, you know, pretty much we are them, or we're the same species here, and they're trying to put the puzzle back together, piece this back together, so to speak, then they definitely probably will want to have access to this information solely themselves. You know what I mean? They don't want to do this openly and share this with people, right?
Yes, right. That is this is a new technology that has been acquired that should be used ethically and for the benefit of humanity, but in fact has been used for purposes of political intelligence and governance, which may not be entirely ethical. If one looks, for example, at the election of George W. Bush in the year 2000, in which actually Al Gore won, but through the time travel information, the Bush forces were probably able to subvert and corrupt many institutions within the U.S. in order to enforce their will. Now, we don't know exactly what the capabilities of the time travel technology are and whether it extends off planet. We do have information that it is accurate on planet, and that it has two forms. One is chronovision, which is like a television set to which you can dial to any point in the time-space coordinates from your own time-space coordinates, so you can go backwards and forwards in time, or there's also an actual time travel machine in which one can teleport to actual locations in the future or in the past in our time-space hologram. But exactly what the technical capabilities are at present is not known, and it's because we depend on whistleblowers for this information because they're highly secret.
That's right. I want to ask you if you know that if Andrew D. Basiago is available? Does he do interviews at all and things like this?
Yes.
He does, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to give you his contact information once we're off the air, and
Absolutely.
You can contact him.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. We definitely want to try to get him on. But so where do you see this is where's this going then? Are they on a time limit or timetable themselves? Or what do you think is the goal here, so to speak, if we talk about what they're doing, in regards to bombing moon and so forth?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Well, one historian has coined a term, the breakaway civilization, and I think that's a good term to describe what the black budget economy has done, the black budget permanent war economy, and that is that they've used these technologies together with secrecy, together with false flag operations like 9/11, to impose a state of war, permanent war here on the planet, as well as a domestic police state around the world. And they themselves have broken away into a civilization which is now perhaps colonizing Mars and looking forward to colonizing other planets within our solar system through teleportation, and using its secret anti-gravitic fleet to go throughout the world. And now you've mentioned this issue of the mineral rights on Mars and the moon.
Yes.
So all of these things are extra-constitutional and illegal. However, it's an illegality which the breakaway civilization has now arrogated law unto itself, and is we in the normal surface civilization are only learning of these things, and there's good evidence that there are serious plans underway, perhaps, for the depopulation of our surface human civilization through various schemes, including depleted uranium, the weaponization of food, the weaponization of vaccines, weapon systems like HARP, which include chemtrails as its atmospheric component. All of these are weapon systems which are being carried out in order to depopulate the surface human civilization.
Why do you think that's being done, Alfred? What's the motive for that?
Well, this is where it gets to be very speculative, because we don't have good data on it because of the great secrecy. And that is that we know for sure that at the early Bilderberger meetings in 1952 and 53, the Bilderbergers being having been brought into existence by the CIA, having organized its first meetings on behalf of what we call the black nobility of Europe, that is the things like the throne of England and the throne of Holland.
From the Venetian bloodlines, I think, yes.
Yeah, and which are very satanically oriented and into kind of the black magic realms, as well as the City of London and Wall Street banking interests, which are ruled in Europe by the Rothschild family, whose net worth is $100 trillion.
There you go.
And these come from detailed estimates